Hello everybody, I'm Overhaul, and this is my lovely assistant Crystal. Hi. And today we are reviewing Rwby, Volume 6, Chapter 7, titled The Grim Reaper. Hey, you finally remember the name of a chapter. I can't remember the chapter's names, it's just most of them have names that really don't flippin' matter, and really my versions of the names are much better. Alright, so let's get on with this review, shall we? Alright. So we begin this chapter with a flashback. Probably because so many people have been screaming about flashback and backstories in the previous volume, and they want this to happen here. People can have what they want. So yeah, we get the backstory on Maria Calavera, and wait a second, didn't this episode start with Cinder and Neo conversation? Just break it down and I'll have the Maria Calavera part. Alright, so like I said, the story begins actually with Cinder and Neo's conversation. Cinder decides to take Neo back there because, well, I think Neo might have asked Cinder to actually explain why doesn't she kill her? Or something. Like, we don't exactly know the entire conversation. I mean, the last time we see them was just, alright, let's talk how we'll kill her together. And then Neo points to the fact that she cannot talk, which was actually confirmed in the official Rwby. And Cinder saying it right. So we don't exactly know what happened in between. The only thing we know is they ended up at the vault and Cinder is explaining everything. She explains that although she has no problems killing Rwby, in fact she would most likely go on her own to kill Rwby, she tells her that I cannot, but you can kill her because you don't work for her. I mean, which makes sense. Especially and because, well, Neo had now infiltration with Salem. I mean, it would look like I got the relic, you killed the girl, and this is just the way it ended. Because it does seem like, at least in the next parts of the chapter, that there are people that are killing Silver Isis. He'll go into this. But yeah, Neo agrees to it, and apparently Neo was wearing green mascara. I don't really know. Why is she wearing green mascara? It's weird, but it's not that much of a destroying of a character design. So yeah, they have a talk and they make a deal. Now, the way it kinda is going, it seems like it's kinda been hinted at them that they are actually working together, they're actual partners. But it's also possible that Neo is just agreeing with it as fast as she could, so as soon as she kills Rwby, as soon as she'll be able to kill Cinder. Because, well, let's be honest, what she told Neo was probably like, we are facing some serious odds and both of us are gonna be extremely tired. So it's possible that Neo is relying on her fighting anyone else and they've been so weak that she can easily get killed because, let's just say, there is a way for them to be beaten for the maidens, so it makes sense. But anyways, that's the end of that scene. Back to you. So yeah, finally, we see Maria Calavera walking like normally, supporting the idea that apparently when you become old, you become tiny. Because, well, she's old. Because when she was like a bit younger than Crow, it's kind of ambiguous. That she seems to be around Crow's size, but now she's tiny. The smallest character, which may actually be literally. So yeah, So she walks on the bridge and then she gets attacked by Nevermore. The fight ensues. We see her weapons, which utilize gravity dust. She fights the Grimm off, and although she has the advantage practically all the time, it's just, well, unless if you are straight up flyer link character like Yuma, you're gonna have a bit hard time hanging on onto the Grimm, even if you do have the upper hand. She slams the Grimm into a mountain and she goes, and she thinks the Grimm is defeated, but it turns out this Grimm was a bit tougher. I can imagine the reason why is because the universe was like, I think we are not giving the Grimm enough danger feel. I mean, hell, it's very easy or they get destroyed. So let's make this Nevermore to be a bit harder to get killed than you would expect, than usually. And Maria Calvera uses her silver eyes to destroy the Grimm. Then this new villainess named Tuck and her goons come in and basically make it a point that you will die. You are going to die. She refers to the reasoning why because her boss ordered her, which is not known if she means her boss as if Salem or her boss as in someone else, which was what she meant. There are other people who are going out around the world and killing the civilizers. I mean, maybe after the whole Salem thing, we're gonna cut to these guys who were originally just in the shadows setting some assassins to go kill civilizers. They would come from the shadows and now they will start ruining the world. I mean, makes sense. I mean, there are other people, there are other gangs, the other Yakuzas, like there have been other organizations evil. I mean, Juniors, Ravens, Bandits, like there are some. And I can imagine there was some link of information. And I can imagine that some people may have some inferiority complexes with the civilizers. Like seriously, they need to train to kill Grimm, while these civilizers, they can just look at a Grimm and they can destroy it. I mean, just look at the Grimm and destroy it. Oh hey, look, there's an army of Beowulf Grimm. Well, I will look at them and destroy them. So you can imagine it's something like that. So we get a fight which is pretty decent. Like it's not supposed to be some super amazing groundbreaking fight, because it is, at the end of the day, just a flashback. And also, one interesting thing I've noticed in this fight is the fact that the goons that Tuck has are seemingly at least decently competent. What do you mean decently competent? Well, they don't get one-shotted by one attack and, well, they do at least fight back somewhat. It seems like they actually are fighters. I mean, seriously. But if you compare them to the previous people, the previous ones have just been one-shotted mostly. But these guys at least somewhat fight. Granted, they still have zero chance, but they're still somewhat opponents. At least enough for them to, not go out like they're not completely nothing. So yeah, Tuck then is able to get an upper hand on the Maria, and she's able to use her swords to cut her eyes up. Literally cut, like it's literally cut between it and then bleeds from it. Now I heard some people complain that this guy feels underwhelming because they were expecting something bigger, but if I'm being honest, this does make sense that it's more along of these type of things, because, well, for one, I doubt it doesn't seem like Hazel and Terry, for one, Hazel doesn't seem to be that bothered by civilizers. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if he was the one taking the civilizers down like it was nothing. And Tyrion, it doesn't seem like he has been failing that much. I mean, it's And how he's the type of a guy who would just kill her straight out. And I doubt that Blind Maria would get the upper advantage from Tyrion as she got from Tuck, which was using her scythes to and throwing one scythe and then activating the other one because she has two scythes to pinpoint her and then cut her hat. So yeah, it makes sense for me if I'm being honest. I feel like maybe people wanted something huge, bigger, but it makes sense. Besides, I'm pretty sure if she got her eyes cut off and, even if Salem would just say, throw her outside, the girl will kill her, it's pretty legitimate to say she would die, that would happen. And how would I capture her even? So it makes sense for me. Maybe, if I'm honest, it's more us blaming the showrunners, even though we should really think about logistics here. Now, while we're on the topic of the cutting, let's discuss Tuck because she dies in this scene. I really like Tuck. She kind of reminds me of Tracer. Really? Isn't she a reference to Peter Pan's crocodile? Well, yeah, she's also that, but I don't know. I feel like her accent is somewhat similar, or maybe that's just the way I heard it for the first time. It sounded similar to Tracer's. Her hairstyle doesn't look, well, it does kinda resemble it. Granted, on the sideways, her hair coloring and the fact that Tracer has her head full with hair. But the whole side thing does kinda remind me of the thing. And considering the fact that her ability is time-based, like 60 seconds and she's invulnerable, does kinda remind me of Tracer's time things. Granted, it's not a direct parody and she is more of a crocodile parody because she's a crocodile fondness. So it makes sense, but still, I think it was mostly just a coincidence if I'm totally being honest. It's probably just like a coincidence. Maybe they didn't really think about it, just happened that she resembles. She can maybe remind someone of it. But at the end of the day, she's just that. Now we got back to the present and after Maria tell her story. Crow referenced how she's this legendary Grim Reaper and the reason why she was to completely disappear was because no one saw her face and she never used her name, so yeah. Crow said he looked up to her and she said, if you look up to me, then you're already on good ways of being a failure, because when I lost my eyes, I completely stopped. But apparently some of your generation, referring to Rwby, Blake, Weiss, and Yang, they are stronger than I am. Which is hinted to be Yang, but I feel like Maria is just saying that because maybe she sees the injury of losing an arm to be like equal to her losing her eyes. She saw it and she just gave up. Yang lost her arm and still fights. Granted, that kind of beats the purpose of her getting beat down, because apparently Yang was said to lose in more fights that she was in. I think which was Neo and Adam, but has anyone against everyone else, I think she won. I think that was just a quick fight, because I'm pretty sure she wins in quite a few fights. Mainly. So yeah, maybe someone remind me if that's the case. So yeah. Then Rwby asked her if she can train her about the Silver Eyes, which I am surprised that the fan base did not react with it. Finally, you're asking about them. It was about goddamn time. At least I took this opportunity. Because, well, that was one of the main complaints about Volume 5, and in this volume, I believe halfway I think this is actually, is it 14 or is it 12? I think it's 14. In 14 chapters, right before the halfway point, we get confirmation that Rwby is gonna learn how to use her silver eyes. So yeah, we get that, and so yeah, before, I don't believe Mia answered that, but let's just say it's going to be relevant. So, because they get reception from Arcus, because they get reception from Jean, and they go, and they are finally happy that they come to that. And the mood of the environment and all that seems to completely change. Like, the first half of the episode was still had a bit of the mood, the sad, terrifying, in mass feeling like the previous chapter, only a lot less, similar, like barely any, but you could still clarify it. But still, it was good. I feel like they kind of want to cheer people up because, well, alright, why would the mood be the same in a previous place, which there was a farm, which was the only way to survive? Well, they were in a farm that was filled with dead bodies and had a grimm underneath it that would kill them because they make them. I feel nothing. So yeah, you get what I'm saying. It makes sense that there will be a brighter mood. So we cut to the team, Juniper team, who be reunion, and they go in a more comedic way, with Nora also asking, who's the old lady? So they get to the little bit of the Arcus lore, what they are in there, like saying that even though it's part of, what's it called? What's that other kingdom called that was originally before Atlas? It's an Mistral? Menagerie? Mental? I think, was it Mental, Crystal? Yeah, I think it was Mental. Yeah. Even though it's more of a mental city, Atlas has its power and authority, like the soldiers and the towers and everything else. So yeah, while we are there, we meet one of Jean's sister, who is a lesbian, and a hot-looking lesbian. That, oh, I can already now picture the bad part of that. Her and her wife. Oh. Why are you so excited? I mean, didn't you complain about using the LGBT response later? I mean, how? Didn't you once scream out loud when you were watching She-Ra and the Princess of Power wiki page, LGBT community? Rwby is different. And what? And how is that? Well, for instance, Rwby only has an image, Ilya and Jean's sister and her wife to be lesbians, possibly Blake and Yang, but for the most part, everyone else seems to be pretty straight. Well, maybe Emerald, but if we are taking Rwby Chibi seriously, Emerald just sees Cinder more as a mother than lover, so it's kind of hard to tell. So yeah, it's not overly used, and well, it's a family of 7 and it's a family of 8. Yeah, I believe it's a family of 8. So yeah, it makes sense at least one of them would be. I mean, out of 8 children, one of them is into girls. Makes sense. And we also see their child, which either people in Rwby are actually able to procreate with their about needing to procreate even if they're the same sex, because, well, I mean, let's just say I was watching the Orville, and let's just say when an alien race that's predominantly male has a baby, granted they make babies, I don't believe they explain how they procreate, it's just how they get children, and in this show they didn't really say anything too specific, so it's possible, but hell, maybe one of them took that sperm they get in banks to make a child, or maybe they adopt a child. I mean, I believe the child is actually darker than Jean's sister's wife, so yeah, it makes sense. There we get a bit comedic scenes with Yank and Wise doing some comedy faces, and they basically get explain the whole scenario. Then they go into conversation about their everything, how long they're planning to stay here, what's next, and all that. Well, Team Draper's making sandwiches. And also, we find out that Jean's sister's wife, I forget their names, is actually in charge of the tower that sends signals across the Arcus, and maybe to the other kingdoms, and they are blaming her because it doesn't work. Which, wait, shouldn't they blame the fact the beacon signal is destroyed? I mean, the only conversations are around those areas of the location, and not throughout the other places. Like, people from Arcus aren't going to be able to communicate to people from Beacon. So what the heck? What? Why do you blame her? I don't know. They just have a little comedic scene with her saying, "They blame me." So yeah. Then Team Juniper says that they're planning to go to the military base to basically go, and Team Juniper says it's not going to work. Yeah, we try and it's not going to work. And they basically say how hard it will be. And then we cut to a scene which just closed the gates and just it for comedics. I feel like because we have ended the previous chapter on such a, revelation that about the third civilized warrior, and in a future possibility, I think it's time for a bit lighter feel. I can imagine that these whenever they're going to be solely in the more of a conversational, not big lore thing, they will most likely put more jokes in, and then when they're going to be serious, they're gonna put more of the lore and more of the mindset and more of this type of stuff. So all in all, this chapter was pretty good. I don't know why some people would complain. I get why some people would complain about it, but all the complaints, I personally don't really care for them. I completely understand them. I do too. I do wish there some other things be changed, and I do understand how, like you, but just it makes sense, and considering it all, it does explain it good, and it does seem to give a move on, unlike the volume 5 where most of the things happen in only one place, and it merely just seemed like they were standing around. So this chapter was good. Now anyways, I hope you like this video, and I hope you're gonna leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos in the future. And with that said, I cannot wait to see all of you people next time. Bye!